After finally having lived in southeast Berlin, we move our ways southwest to the southern ring of Berlin, here at Tempelhof, quite close to Kreuzberg, and it's just a 10-minute metro ride to the city center. The best part is it has its train tracks taking you to the north and south of Berlin, and also particularly quite close to the west of Berlin. Tempelhof is known for its history, especially the abandoned airport, which is quite close to the train station. It has one of the oldest streets, an area of cafes one after the other, and it has one of the best talented people displaying their skills at will. And then comes me, wanting to be free and just embracing my youth. Greetings of the day, everyone, from Berlin Tempelhof. And this was not in my plans to actually live in Tempelhof, especially from the last mishap, but it was a very quick and good decision by me and my flatmate. And living here, I get the city life, and of course this is a very old part of Berlin. It has a lot of history, especially the Tempelhofer feld, the airport which was abandoned on 30th October 2008, and then from there on in, this spot, Tempelhof, was always a spot for people to live, but somewhat people started abandoning it, except for some who, especially, it has opened a lot of houses for young expats like me to actually live here, and what better spot to live, especially a couple of cafes and maybe a supermarket. And there were times where I was lazy or I couldn't cook because the kitchen is busy. I would prefer going there. They give one of the most delicious meals, especially adding to my diet. It actually supports it in a lot of ways, and I wouldn't mind going there maybe every weekend as well. So that's a good spot for me to even eat and contemplate and think about maybe what's next in my life, or what to do today or tomorrow or the day after, and then somewhat get back to my productive work back at my place. And then of course life goes on, but life can definitely be very fast living here, but it can be very comforting. And I will be touring you much more around this area, and also to the other side of this area where you will find the Tempelhofer feld, the abandoned airport. As you can see that this is quite open to anyone to come. This was known as the abandoned airport back in 2008. People had no idea why it was closed. It's because the attraction was outdated. Maybe the airport was outdated, and likewise it wasn't meeting the standards of the airport which is in Schönefeld and the one in Tegel. So these are the two areas where there were airports once upon a time, and now Schönefeld has the official airport with Terminal 1, 2 and 5. Now, being an abandoned airport, now we may have there was a personification done years back where people reflected on this particular incident, saying that okay, this was an abandoned airport. And I know very well how it is when you feel abandoned. Maybe I'm quite lucky to have parents who have, raised me well for the fact that I stand here. But I've come across people who have had abandoned parents, abandoned people, abandoned friends, and although it may seem an abandoned airport, people may talk of being abandoned. People has embraced this very land and has made this their home. Now this is not abandoned anymore. We have thousands of visitors coming in every day, doing what they feel like doing. If they want to be free, this is what they do. They bring their furry friends along with them. As you can see, the dog running there, chasing a ball. People flying kites on that side of the Tempelhofer feld. You can see a person jogging. The airport has been an emerging spot for many visitors to come in and explore the history behind it and why it was abandoned, and also just make use of the land and be free and find their own personal self, just like how I do. I come here to play cricket, and right now I will be demonstrating what I actually do. Sometimes being in Berlin, we get to do what we like to do. Things can be weird, but being weird is one of a kind that actually enables us to find our true self and to also embrace victory or anything. If we want to express ourselves, I think spots like these are premium, and I think I'm going to demonstrate what I usually do here in my free time. So, shall we? I just come here and just relive my childhood, and what a place to be, and it just enables me to bring the best self out of myself, out of me. And as you can see, I come here whenever I have time. I grab this campus ball and I just target the wall right there. There's a lining in the middle. I usually target the line between the red and the white, and I aim that I use that as my stumps. And as you can see, that for any person who is cricket obsessed, I prefer doing that. People have found their freedom here at this abandoned park, and right now I have my friend Sam Thomas Thai Valapal.
Man.
Yeah, I know. I like the name. I don't know. That's the only Malayalam word that one, and then of course Malayalam's name. We both have pronounced that. I've pronounced those words very clearly. But then, I like to say the full name of the person. I try my level best, especially when the person is South Indian or Malayali. But then, anyways, let's cut to the chase.
Yeah, okay.
What do you mean by freedom?
Freedom means a lot to me, because it can be defined in various. So it can vary from various situations as well as various circumstances.
Yeah.
For instance, I would say I can if I have abundance of money with me, I can say that I have acquired financial freedom.
Yeah, true.
And if I'm free, and if I'm free, I can say that I have a lot of time with me. I have freedom. How do I say that?
Yeah.
Time?
Basically you have.
I can do anything. Yeah.
That so when it comes to time, so he spoke about financial freedom, but if you say it in the perspective of time, you have enough time for yourself when you're disciplined, and usually when you're disciplined, you're free. And if you're disciplined, you don't. You're not a slave to your moods. This was one of the wisest words ever said by the best marathon runners of all time, Eliud Kipchoge. He spoke on freedom, saying that if you are disciplined, you're free. And the best time to plant a tree was 25 years ago, but the second best time is right now. So, yes, I know discipline is required for freedom and all that, but sometimes the burdens of life is a bit too much for us, and we need an open field. We need to gaze at the sky, especially if you're living in a city. We may not live in a village, we may be from a proper city area, but this is the time when you need some contemplation, when you need to reflect back on your life, and you need to reflect back on the experiences that were unpleasant.
And also the pleasant ones, so that you can forget about the nightmares and set your burdens free, and find a way to not hold on to them but move on from them, and rather take reflection from it and start your life strong. Stay tuned for watching the next episode. Till then, thank you.